Hello, everyone, and welcome into a new edition of the Sports Stove Draft Show on the Sports Stove Media Network. We are going to talk mock draft today. We're going to talk through the process of it, kind of what I'm thinking with these picks and things like that as well. Today's episode is presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. Join the flavor revolution at righteousfelon.com. Use the promo code STOVE15. That'll get you a 15% off your purchase right there at Righteous Felon. And thank you to our listeners who continue to go and find their new favorite flavor at righteousfelon.com. Again, promo code STOVE15. If you're watching us on YouTube or on Spotify, make sure that you hit that subscribe or follow button. And sure appreciate you there. You can watch us now, not only on YouTube, but also on Spotify. You can always listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts at the Sports Stove Football Show. And, of course, the Sports Stove Media YouTube channel as well. All right, so we're doing mock draft. And what I want to do today, because we'll do one more mock draft after this one. We'll do that the week of the draft, which is just around the corner. But I want to kind of talk through, I'm not going to do trades today, but I'm going to talk through some trade prospects. And I kind of want to give you what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing as we go through this process as well. At each pick, we're going to do the first 32 picks, and then we'll do the teams without a first-round draft pick also. All right, so let's jump right in. Here we go. Pick number one, the Las Vegas Raiders. Easy, simple, no problem. Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana. And that one has been settled for quite some time. I believe that at number two, the Jets are starting to settle in as well. I've got the Jets taking Arvell Reese at number two. He is a, super talented. He can go a couple of different directions. So edge rusher or off the ball. The Jets have a need for off the ball, but they also have a need for an edge rusher. So I think this year, Arvell Reese fits the best here. You know, David Bailey's name comes up a lot at this point too, but I think ultimately they need some versatility this year, and they'll go with Arvell Reese at number two. Then it gets interesting at number three because there's a lot of different directions the Cardinals can go. They need a quarterback. They're not going to draft one here. I think they are definitely in the running for the second round or a trade up into the bottom of the first round for Ty Simpson, but they're not going to go here. So now you're looking at options between Francis Mauigoa, the right tackle, David Bailey, Ruben Bain, the edge rushers, and I think Sonny Styles, the linebacker, are all options here at number three. I still think it's a little rich for Mauigoa. I really like him, but I think ultimately it's just at pick number three. I don't see it. A lot of people have said, well, they're going to trade out of number three, but I don't see who's going to want to trade into number three. So that's where I struggle with this. Washington has been rumored as a possibility that would a team to come up to number three. But I think Washington can sit at 7 and still get a pretty solid player at number 7 because of what we're hearing about what the Browns are going to do at 6. So we'll come back to them in a minute. If they stick and pick here, I've got Sonny Styles slotted in here to number 3 right now for the Cardinals. They do need edge rushers, and they could get, one of the top ones here. But I think the way Sonny Styles has just boomed up boards, David Bailey, Ruben Bain, I think it's a toss-up between the two, and the Cardinals have some edge rushers in place. And so adding this piece in Sonny Styles, I think, would be pretty good. So I'm going to go Styles over Mauigoa or the edge rushers at number 3. Then at number 4, it brings in the Titans. And, of course, the popular pick here is Jeremiah Love. I've said this for a while, by the way. I'm not saying I'm the first one to have said it, but I've said it before a lot of other people. I think Jeremiah Love is a legit option here at number 4. They need to help out their quarterback. They need receivers. They need a solid running back, and they could get that here, either one of those positions. But at the end of the day, when I look at Robert Saleh, I have just seen Ruben Bain being the fit for him from day one since he got hired here in Tennessee. So, yes, they need to take care of their quarterback. Yes, they need offensive line help. Yes, all of those things. But I think Ruben Bain is the pick here at number 4 for the Titans. Then you get to the Giants at number 5, all kinds of options. I think Caleb Downs is an option here. I like Sonny Styles here as well. At the end of the day, where I have to go with this one is Caleb Downs to number 5 to the Giants. When you look at what John Harbaugh is used to, what he has done, who he has played with on his teams, he loves that safety position. I think that Jeremiah Love is a legit option at number 5. I think that David Bailey being here is not an option because of what they have at the edge rushers. I think Carnell Tate is an option here as well. But ultimately, I am going to go with the safety, Caleb Downs, here to number 5 in the Giants, Number 6 in the Browns. The Browns need everything, right? And there is a lot of smoke right now about them taking Caden Proctor at number 6 or Monroe Freeling at number 6. They do not need a right tackle. They do need a left tackle. I get it. I get that the Browns are stupid and they do a lot of stupid stuff, but if you watch the way they drafted last year, although it was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, it wasn't necessarily chaos either. And with having another pick in the first round that they can use and maybe go up and get a guy they like versus taking him here at number 6, I don't see it. And when you look at their needs on offense, sure, there's a lot. I think Carnell Tate is a really good option here. I think that when you look at the receiver needs that are there, that makes a whole lot of sense for this team. But ultimately, I think they bolstered their defense here, and they go David Bailey at number 6. So Mendoza, number 1, Reese 2 to the Jets, Styles 3 to the Cardinals, Bain 4 to the Titans. We went with Downs 5 to the Giants, and now Bailey at number 6 to the Browns. That brings up the Washington Commanders at 7. And like I said, there's talk about them moving up to 3. I think it's the Cardinals trying to lead that conversation a little bit, but the Commanders have several needs as well. And I think if Jeremiah Love is still sitting on the board here at number 7, he goes to the Commanders at number 7. So we're going running back Jeremiah Love at 7. Now to number 8 and the New Orleans Saints. Lots of needs, but they really like them. A nice receiver from Ohio State, Chris Olave, already there. Let's add Carnell Tate to the mix as well. I think the Saints are in play here for the safety, Caleb Downs, if he's still there. I think they're in play for even cornerback here and possibly offensive line. At this point in this mock draft, there's still no offensive lineman taken, so there's an option there as well. I think, though, that they will not pass on Carnell Tate here at number 8 to the New Orleans Saints. That brings us to number 9 and the Chiefs, and I think there is a possibility of a trade here at number 9 to the Chiefs. I think the Rams are the team to watch. They've already traded with Kansas City this year. They've already signed one of their cornerbacks, traded for another one of their cornerbacks, and I think that the Rams are looking for a home run punch. And I think that home run punch comes in a wide receiver being drafted by the Rams in the first round. So I think this is a possibility from the Rams moving up from number 13 to number 9. It's not a massive jump. They wouldn't have to give up, a massive haul to get there. And I think that that's a real possibility here. But if we're sticking and picking with the Kansas City Chiefs, we are going to stick and pick with a cornerback because they lost both of their cornerbacks, as I just mentioned, to the Rams. Let's go ahead and go Mansour Delane from LSU to Kansas City at number 9. All right, that brings us to the Bengals, and the Bengals, boy, do they have needs. They've got plenty of them as well, and so to watch what the Bengals can do, and I think same thing, if we get past Kansas City and there's not been a trade yet, I still think the Rams are the team to watch here into the top 10. But the Bengals, where they are, they've got plenty of needs. They've got defensive line needs, which there's not a defensive lineman going in the top 10 this year. They have a running back need, I believe, but Love is gone. They have safety need, which is already Caleb Downs off the board in this situation as well. They do have a cornerback need, and there's a possibility that we could see 2 cornerbacks in the top 10. But with all the offensive linemen still on the board, I'm going to go Francis Maui-Noa here, number 10. I think Fano is an option as well. He is versatile. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go with the Bengals taking the first offensive lineman off the board, Francis Maui-Noa from Miami. All right, the Dolphins are up next at number 11, and I think, again, options here for the Dolphins. Cornerback is a need. McCoy looked good in his pro day. It could bolster him up there to number 11. They have edge rusher needs, but at this point, we're not ready to pull the go plug here on another edge rusher with Bailey, Bain, and Reese already off the boards. They need wide receiver help. They need interior offensive line help. They need a tight end. This is an interesting spot for Kenyon Sadiq. To me, it's too high, so I'm not going here. I'm going to go playmaker at number 11, Makai Lemon, to the Dolphins. I think McCoy is definitely an option. I think Maui Noah, if he's there, is definitely an option as well. But I like the idea here of Makai Lemon in Miami. And so brings us to number 12 and the Cowboys. The Cowboys have needs all over as well, but cornerback is an obvious one. If Jermon McCoy is still here or Mansour Delane is still here, I think the Cowboys pull the trigger. So give me Jermon McCoy at number 12 to the Cowboys. They've got edge rusher needs. They could use another wide receiver. They could use another interior offensive lineman. But at the end of the day, McCoy here is off the board at 12. That brings us the Rams at number 13. I think they're going to try to go after one of these top receivers. It could be Jordan Tyson, who's still available in this mock draft. I think that you could be looking at Kenyon Sadiq here at tight end. They need a guy that can step right in and play. They are going all in this year as well. Ultimately, though, I'm going to go with Spencer Fano, the tackle from Utah. He can come in and he can play guard, or he can play center, or he can play tackle. And so I think for the Rams to be able to throw him right into the mix and have that opportunity to just kind of build that team up and use him immediately this year is a big one. I think the Rams, I said it already twice, I think the Rams are a trade up candidate in this draft to go get a guy they really, really want. All right, 14 and the Baltimore Ravens. Again, lots of needs. They had an overhaul of their offensive line that has not been fully restocked. I like Fano as a great fit in Baltimore, but he's off the board here in this case. I think that they could go edge rusher. I think that they could go receiver possibly here as well. But ultimately, I've got Olivega Ione here from Penn State, or Ione, I think is how they're saying it now. But nonetheless, interior offensive lineman, best offensive lineman in the draft, but he plays guard, so he's not going to get drafted above those other guys most likely. Great fit for Baltimore and what they do here at number 14. All right, number 15 brings the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've got needs at linebacker, edge, cornerback, defensive line, and interior offensive linemen. And I'm going to go with Mesidor here, the edge rusher out of Miami. And I don't like Mesidor this high in the draft. I think I've been pretty clear on that through this process. But Mesidor fits a couple of teams. He fits the Rams because, again, they're looking for someone that can just jump in right away. He has all kinds of experience. He fits Tampa because of how Tampa likes the draft. They like production. They like to draft production. I've had Cassius Howell here for a while. I've considered Keldrick Falk here before. At the end of the day, Mesidor has what they like in Tampa. And I think if Mesidor doesn't go at 15 to Tampa, his chances of being a first-round pick drop drastically. He could still go. There are definitely still places that would take him. But I think Tampa is the best possible fit for Mesidor, and falling in love possibly with him too. So at number 15, we're going to Keem Mesidor from Miami, the edge rusher. Number 16 is the Jets' second pick. Here we had him going Arvell Reese at number 2. They need some playmakers as well next year's when they're going for their quarterback. So let's stock up and get ready for him. Jordan Tyson's still on the board, so we're going to take Jordan Tyson at number 16. I think Tyson is the most explosive receiver in the draft. I like him better than Carnell Tate as far as playmaking ability goes. I think Carnell Tate is going to be that steady flow for you. But as far as playmakers go, I like Tyson the best out of the group. I think if Tyson's already gone and Lemon's available, I think the Jets could definitely go there as well. But at the end of the day, where this draft is falling right now, we're going Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver. They need cornerback help. They need offensive line help. They really can easily pick best player available because they have needs at pretty much every single position. By the way, Ty Simpson is not going to the Jets. Mark it down. I know I'm not the only one to say this, but I'm telling you as well, it's not happening. The Jets are drafting a quarterback next year in the draft. They've built up for that purpose. And so, if someone loves Ty Simpson and they're afraid maybe the Jets are putting out the smoke, maybe we see someone move up to this point, up to 15 or 14, to go get Ty Simpson. I don't think it's happening. I think he's going later in the first round with a trade up. But nonetheless, the Jets here will go playmaker Jordan Tyson. Lions at number 17. Again, all kinds of needs, but the offensive line especially. I like Caden Proctor or Monroe Freeling here. I think both of them fit what Dan Campbell wants on the offensive line. I'm going to go with Monroe Freeling. There's a lot of smoke behind Proctor right now, moving way up the board, but there's enough problems with Caden Proctor that he needs time to develop, which so does Freeling. But I think Freeling's a little bit more ready. Look at the Georgia background as well. I think the Lions, if they're going to go offensive line here, go Freeling. I think they could also go corner. They could definitely go edge. Keldrick Folk's an interesting name here to watch as well. But I like Monroe Freeling here, 17 to the Lions. 18 to the Vikings. Dylan Thieneman is the popular pick. I'm going to go there too. They've got a safety need. Thieneman is a crazy athlete. There's a lot of things to like about him. And the Vikings, with all the needs they have, Thieneman's just a fit. Like, it just makes sense. It's one of those picks that makes so much sense. Can it really happen? I think it does. So we're going Dylan Thieneman there to the Vikings. They could, again, also look at edge. They could look at defensive line. Maybe we're now starting to get in that conversation for defensive linemen and linebacker even as well at this point. Next is Carolina at number 19. They've got needs. I've heard Kenyon Sadiq mocked to the Panthers a lot. I don't see that happening. It definitely could. I'm not saying it's impossible. But if I had to put money on it, I would say it's not going to happen. Offensive line is a need. Running back is a need. Cornerback is a need. Safety is a need. I think they end up with a Clemson kid. I don't know which one. Maybe it's Peter Woods. Maybe it's TJ Parker. But I'm going with the cornerback, Avion Terrell, to the Carolina Panthers at number 19. I know just because they're in Carolina and Clemson's in Carolina, it doesn't have to happen. It probably, you might think it might not happen, whatever. Avion Terrell's the next cornerback on the board. They need a cornerback. And I just think right now we're getting into that Clemson range of players where they got to start going off the board here. And I think Avion Terrell does here at 19 to the Panthers. At number 20 is the Dallas Cowboys. We had them taking Jermod McCoy at pick number 12. And so if they're sticking and picking at number 20, we've got them going Keldrick Falk, the edge rusher out of Auburn. Big, massive, can help in the run game. His stats are not necessarily there fully, but the everything you see points so positive to Keldrick Falk. So we've got him going 20 to Dallas. 21 is the Steelers. Man, what a question mark I think the Steelers are this year. They've got needs at quarterback, interior offensive line, cornerback, and safety. I've got them going Caden Proctor here. I think Proctor fits the Steelers very well. He can play guard in his rookie season and then pop out to tackle maybe in his sophomore season. And I just think this is the range that he's going. And the Steelers are kind of a hard one for me. I think if Avion Terrell's there, that's a possibility. Maybe they like a different cornerback that they would like to go get. Maybe, I just think offensive line makes sense for Pittsburgh this year at 21. So I've got them going Caden Proctor. All right, next up is the Chargers at 22. I think the Chargers are a possible trade down team. And I think if they can find the right person for them, and I've got it being Chicago, the Bears coming up to get Caleb Lomu here at 22. If I was doing trades in this draft, we're getting down to where the offensive linemen are starting to all of a sudden disappear, and the Bears need them. So I think the Bears could move up here, and I think the Chargers are a good fit for them to do so, to get above Philadelphia and Cleveland as well. But in this case, where we're sticking and picking, I've got the Chargers going Peter Woods, the Clemson defensive lineman. They've got needs at edge rusher as well, linebacker, cornerback, safety. There are needs definitely there for the Chargers, but I'm going to go with defensive lineman Peter Woods. All right, Philadelphia at number 23. Listen, Philadelphia is one of those teams, I think, like Baltimore, where a lot of times, and maybe the Chiefs too, where a lot of times we sit there and go, how did they get that player? Like, how is it that they were able to acquire that guy without having to move around, or maybe they trade down, or different things like that? I've got the Eagles landing tight end Kenyon Sadiq here at number 23. They need a tight end of the future. They still have Dallas Goedert, but they need someone who's going to be a playmaker down the road for them as well. And I think Philadelphia, listen, do they need a wide receiver? Yes, but I think they can get them later. Do they need an offensive tackle? Yes, there is one available, but I don't think this is the spot for them either. Interior offensive line, defensive line, there's a lot of needs here in Philadelphia. But if Kenyon Sadiq is there, I just don't see them passing on Kenyon Sadiq at 23. Next up is 24, and the Cleveland Browns back up again. We had them going a wide receiver in the first round. Or no, who did we have them going with in the first round? We had them going David Bailey in the first round, taking an edge rusher there at the first pick. And now we've got them waiting and getting Caleb Lomu here in the later part of the first round. If there is a trade that goes above them to get Caleb Lomu, I could see them going receiver here. Omar Cooper Jr. is one I would keep an eye on for Cleveland at 24. But Caleb Lomu is who we have him going to Cleveland here at 24. Chicago, if they don't make the trade up and the offensive linemen are gone, I think they go edge rusher TJ Parker. I love TJ Parker. And what I found in drafts is a guy that I really, really love ends up going to Chicago, which always makes me really, really mad. And so TJ Parker is an edge rusher that I think is so good. Had a bad year his senior year. Comes into the draft, though, has performed so well this whole draft process. 6'3", 265. The Bears have plenty of needs, but I think they fill their edge need here with TJ Parker at 25. And by the way, if I have them trading with the Chargers to go get Caleb Lomu, I have the Chargers taking TJ Parker here at 25 as well. So I think Parker goes in the mid-20s. Number 26 is the Buffalo Bills. All kinds of needs: wide receiver, edge, linebacker, safety, guard, cornerback, whatever it may be. And there's good cornerbacks here, so I think that's a possibility. But I'm going C.J. Allen. He just seems, again, like a guy that fits Buffalo. And so I'm going with C.J. Allen here, the linebacker out of Georgia, at pick number 26. But I think we got to watch for the guys like Denzel Boston, Casey Concepcion, Omar Cooper. Brazzle's kind of continues to keep people's attention, it seems like, as well, out of Tennessee. But they've got the cornerback Colton Hood's available, Brandon Cisse is available, Chris Johnson's available. There are definitely options for Buffalo at 26, but we've got them going to linebacker C.J. Allen. Number 27 is the 49ers. Again, lots of needs, but they need playmakers. As they have lost, their wide receiver core has drastically changed. They bring in Mike Evans, which is great, but he is not that catch and run kind of guy at this point in his career. And so I've got him going Casey Concepcion out of A&M. He's got his drop issues for sure, but he's a return guy. He's a get the ball in his hands and let him make a play kind of guy as well. I think he fits the 49ers better than some of these other receivers, especially with Mike on the roster now. I like this pick for San Francisco as well. All right, number 28 is the Texans. The Texans have the least amount of needs of all the teams in this draft. They have needs, but they have the least amount of them. Edge, interior, offensive line are the big ones, but I have them here addressing their defensive line and going with Caleb Banks from Florida. Great athlete. He got hurt here recently in this process, and he'll be out a little bit of time, but not very much. I think if Peter Woods is still here, that's an option as well. I think the Texans see the value in the defensive lineman at this point. In this draft, only one is already off the board. It could be none of them are off the board. I could see here where the Cardinals could move up to this spot to try to get Ty Simpson. I think the Cardinals are the most likely team to end up with Ty Simpson this year. But the Cardinals need picks too, so they might not want to move up either. So I got the Texans going Caleb Banks at 28. The Chiefs are back up at 29 after their trade with the Rams. And I've got them going wide receiver Denzel Boston out of Washington, 6'4", 209. Just adds more to that offense there in the Chiefs. They're getting older. Not necessarily wide receiver, but every other position they are. Running back they took care of in free agency. Defense, they could definitely use some help still, but I've got them going wide receiver Denzel Boston, who, remember, back just 2 months ago, people were talking about Boston going in the mid-teens because of his size and ability. And so the Chiefs get him here at number 29. The Dolphins are back up at number 30 because of their trade with Denver, and I've got them going cornerback Colton Hood out of Tennessee here at number 30, and just helping with that situation and their cornerback situation. I think the Dolphins are a prime trade down target here as well. Again, I think Arizona would be the team that would be targeting Ty Simpson. Maybe there's someone that wants to come up and get another receiver or an edge rusher or a cornerback or whatever it may be. but I got the Dolphins taking Colton Hood at number 30. Number 31 is the Patriots, and where we're sitting in this draft, I have them getting Omar Cooper Jr. out of Indiana. They signed Romeo Doubs in the offseason. I like Dobbs, but I see him as a number 2 guy. Omar Cooper, I also see as a number 2 guy, but I don't think they're getting a number 1 receiver at 31. And so when I look at Zion Young as a possibility, the edge rusher. There are some offensive lineman possibilities here as well. But I just think they needed more playmakers as well. Omar Cooper Jr. Would be the guy that I have slotted here to number 31, and the Patriots. Seahawks at number 32. It's just hard to get past Brandon Cisse from South Carolina. Big cornerback, fits the Seahawks mold. Everyone's, again, it's another one of those, everyone's doing it. Is it going to happen? I don't know. They got interior offensive line needs, edge rusher needs. Zion Young could be a possibility here. They've got massive running back needs, but I don't think they're going to go running back at this pick. Linebacker is a possibility here for sure. Offensive line is a possibility here for sure. Trading down is a possibility here for sure, but I'm going to go with cornerback Brandon Cisse. So that's the first round. Let's quickly hit the guys that are not in the first round. And so let's start with Indianapolis, pick number 47. Again, lots of needs for them as well. I've got Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the Toledo safety, falling to 47. I think he took a quick rise up the boards for a lot of people. I was not convinced of his first round nature, but at the second round, I do like him. So I've got him falling here to pick number 47, and the Colts. The Falcons at pick number 48. I've got him going Gabe Yakis from Illinois, the edge rusher, another one of my favorite players in this draft. And at pick 48 would be a solid edge piece for the Falcons, who have some legal issues going on with James Pierce Jr. They've got plenty of needs as well. The wide receiver is an option at this point. Defensive line's an option. Offensive line's an option. But I like Gabe Yakis from Illinois at 48. Green Bay comes in at number 52. They've got needs at cornerback, defensive line, tackle, interior offensive line, edge rushers. But I'm going with a linebacker, Jacob Rodriguez out of Texas Tech. They, of course, lost Quay Walker to free agency. They like what they have, but they're going back to the 3-4 system. They need another solid linebacker in there, and I think Rodriguez would be an awesome fit in Green Bay. Jacksonville at 56. Again, lots of needs here. I've got them going D'Angelo Pons, Indiana cornerback. Again, the size is definitely a question mark for Pons, but the Jaguars, just when you're looking at best player available, defensive line needs, offensive line needs, linebacker, cornerback, running back, tight end, plenty of open spots here for the Jaguars to go. But I love Pons at pick 56. They're just outside the top 50. And then number 62 is the Denver Broncos. They are down to 3 picks towards the top 100. They've got 62, 94, and 108. They've got more picks than that, but those are the top ones. Plenty of needs here for Denver as well. And I've got them going edge rusher Joshua Josephs out of Tennessee. There at 62. Some people early in the process, a lot of us had Josephs higher than this area. Like you maybe even sniffing the first round. But ultimately, I think where he lands in this process at 62 is a safe bet for Joshua Josephs as well. All right, there you go. Every team gets at least one player in this mock draft, and as well as talking through some different options. We will do one more mock draft the week of the NFL draft. We plan on dropping some more episodes here in between that, though, talking about maybe some rankings, some risers, some fallers, some different things going on. You say, well, how do we know when the next episode is coming? Because I was being really consistent, but I missed a couple of weeks there doing some upgrades to the studio and different things. And now we're back. All right. So follow us on social media at Sports Stove. That's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And Twitter's the best place to follow us, quite honestly. And we'll let you know when the next episode is coming out. Always just subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss anything. Follow us on Spotify so you don't miss anything. And make sure, listen, the draft is a few weeks away. You're going to need some good snack food. You're going to need your chips and your dips. You're going to need some wings. You're going to need some options. But listen, you're going to have to have some jerky. So go to Righteous Felon Jerky. I suggest the bootleg and barbecue. It's my favorite, but you can get a variety pack. You can try a bunch of flavors at one time. So try it out, righteousfelon.com. The promo code is STOVE15, STOVE15. It's going to get you 15% off your purchase. All right, friends, feel free to comment. Please do. What do you think about this? Do you agree, disagree? Did I have someone way too high, someone way too low? Am I way off on a team? Who do you think is going to make the trade up for Ty Simpson, if anybody? Who do you think is going to go Akeem Messidor in the first round? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment. Let us know your opinions. You're allowed to disagree if you want to. As my dad always said, you're allowed to be wrong. So go ahead and drop your comments on how you agree or disagree in on this episode, this mock draft, and I'll have fun just chatting with you through those comments as well. Thanks for watching today's edition of the Sports Stove Draft Show. Until next time, we'll see you around the Sports Stove.